Moving to your magician's novels, but staying on the topic of kind of the world of magic.
Mm.
The world, the world, or I guess the topic of magic in the magician's novels. It's it's not quite a rule set, but it's much more clearly, I guess, laid out in the sense that magic is not this thing that is particularly easy. It requires a lot of, and there's craft, there's work. Yeah, you have to go to school to learn these things, or you have to spend a lot of time learning this. Um, did any of those ideas kind of seep into the Bright Sword, or was kind of the idea of magic very distinct in terms of how you thought about the magician's novels?
Well, it's interesting because I can remember coming to the bits where magic is to be worked and thinking, well, at least there won't be a learning curve for me here because I already know how this is done. I wrote 3 books of it, but of course, when you dig into the pagan tradition of magic, especially the Celtic one, you realize that it's running off a bit of different power grid than, for example, Harry Potter or the magicians. In that, when the Druids did magic, I think there was some spell casting. I think that there was some wand waving and so on and so forth. Staffs, I suppose they had staves, but a lot of the magic that was done was of a kind of transactional nature. The world was absolutely full of spirits and gods. When the Druids looked around and they saw a big boulder, well, there's a spirit associated with the boulder and with the mountain over there, and that with that unusually large tree that also has a god associated with it. So there's this wonderful populated landscape. And when you needed supernatural work done, it was often a matter of negotiating with different spirits. Fortunately, I've been sacrificing to the spirit of the boulder for some years now, and so he owes me a solid. And so he'll take care of this. He'll make sure that the crops thrive or whatever it is. So what I realized what it was is that it was much more of this sort of connected web of relationships that structured and characterized the magical world for the Celts and for the Druids, which was, and of course, Merlin was a Druid, something that was pointed out to me by C.S. Lewis. Merlin was, of course, a Druid, and so that was the kind of magic that he practiced. And so it was in some ways very different from the magic of the magicians, which was much more abstract, and it's much more part of that modern fantasy tradition, which we know and love. But it was really the rule set, as you say, was quite different. And annoyingly, I had to relearn how to write about magic for the Bright Sword.